This video is going to show how to use the new ScanNCut DX cutting machine to cut an outline of a stamped sediment, as we see here. Here's an example of an embossed sediment, and we're going to cut the outline as shown here. First, start by placing the paper on the cutting mat. And I'm going to use a brayer to put it down more firmly. Going to load the mat in the direction of the arrow by placing it between the guides and pressing the load button on the ScanNCut. Now I'll select Scan to Cut Data and press the Start button. And this will scan the image into the machine. I'll select Outline and adjust the arrows so that it's only surrounding the area I'm interested in. In this case, it will be the sediment. And I'm also going to adjust the contrast, and I'll put it to the second notch from the left. And then I will click the OK button. And now I will send it to the network so I can then use the ScanNCut Canvas software. Now we'll come to the Brother Canvas workspace program that we have running on our Windows PC. And we'll come to File and Import from your cutting machine, and we will import the FCM file. And let's zoom in on this a little bit. And we'll select the select icon over here. We'll draw a box around it to select all the different individual cut files. We'll come over here to the right and select the edit icon, which is this one here. That's the little box with the arrow. We will scroll down until we see offset. We'll select offset. We'll change the spacing to 0.08. The offset direction outward. The corner type is round. Selected original line, leave as is. Make sure the box is checked for create an offset line only around the outer edge, and select OK. Now we're going to click and drag around all our cut files again, and we're going to come back over to the right, and under Process Overlap, we're going to weld them together. That's this first icon here. And this makes the final cut file. But we're going to want to make sure that the original file was good enough. I already know that it cut off the E under We. And so what we're going to do here, we're going to come back over to File. We're going to import from your cutting machine again. And remember, the first time we imported the FCM file. This time we're going to import the scanned image. And so what this is going to do is just bring in the image of how this was scanned in at the ScanNCut. And then somewhere here, I'm going to right click, I'm going to arrange, and I'm going to send it to the back so that we can see the cut file overlaid on this image. Now you can't see it very well because the cut file is black. So I'm going to select the cut file here. I'm going to come over here to Properties, and I'm going to change that line color to a color that we can better see so that you can see the cut file here. Now you can see we're going to be cutting off the E. I'd rather have that go straight across. So I am going to click on the zoom icon here again, and I'm going to just zoom in around that E. And then come back over here and select icon, and then I'm going to just keep clicking on the cut file here until it puts me in edit mode. And then I'm going to want to delete all of these lines that are coming up. So I'll select the first one that I'm going to want to delete, and I'll click it, and I'll come up here and I'll delete the point. Then I'll come down here and select the next one and delete it. The next one, and I'll delete it. And I'm just going to repeat that until I've deleted all the points that are coming up to chop off my E. And make this the final cut file the way I want. Okay, and that looks good, just like that. And so now we have our cut file. It's looking like what we pretty much want it to look like. So we are ready to send this back to our machine. So we're going to come back up here to File, and we will transfer the FCM file via the internet. And it says, warning, the image data will not be exported or transferred. So only the cut data, not the image file that we use to overlay it. So I'll click OK. And it tells me that the registered machine is ready to download the file. And now we'll go back to our ScanNCut. Okay, now we're back at the ScanNCut. And we are going to go back home. And we are going to retrieve data. We're going to retrieve it from the internet. And here's our cut file. And we'll select OK. First of all, we have to select that we want to cut it. Then we'll select Start. And here's the cut segment ready to be removed from the cutting mat, ready to be put on a card. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Bye.